What is happening, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the first post-game show of the 2022-23 season. Welcome. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement. First and foremost, let me make sure you guys can hear me. Give me the virtual thumbs up to make sure you guys can hear me as I'm looking at the audio. It looks like it's working. Hopefully you guys can hear it. So I'm going to wait for that confirmation. Also, as I look at myself here on the screen, I realize I need to get another light. I think I need two lights because the color is off. I couldn't get the hat color to show up right with the shutter speed and all that. It's just a personal thing. But let me make sure you guys can hear me. Come on. Give me. Yeah, thank you. Keith Van Nelson, you guys can hear me, so let's rock. We got a lot to talk about. It is Sunday. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So, of course, I want to get to that. For the newcomers, and I will say this again throughout the show, a lot of times people ask me what the phone number is for. The phone number is for calling in on Tuesdays, for Terrible Towel Tuesday. What I might actually introduce this year, guys, we'll see. I may introduce maybe phone calls in the post game. I'm not sure yet. If I do it that way, it definitely would be a lot quicker. I definitely wouldn't have time to get to all of the calls, but we'll figure that out. But anyway, let's say hello to the early commenters. Let's get right to that, man, and let's get right to the action. So much to talk about today. I mean, so much. Keith Van Nelson, Derek Moore. Hello, Miss Sade. Hello, Miss Lady. Sade, the lady of the chat. You know what we do is we say hello. Everyone say hello to our lovely ladies. So as I call them out, make sure you give them a special hello because we appreciate them. Donovan Hubbard, Vista Light, C. Antoine Hill, Ernest Grice, BQ412. Must be a Pittsburgh guy. So we always appreciate the real Pittsburgh folks. I'm not from Pittsburgh. I just live in PA. Hello, Miss Lanisha. Hello, Miss Lady. Appreciate you coming through. Make sure you guys say hello to Lanisha. Mr. Elman, who else we got up in here? Mark Malone, Robert Westover, Robert Ellison, Leonard Green, Wave Dave, T-Dog, Marlon Nicholson. What up, Marlon? Who else? Jordan Mid is in the building. Astro in the building. Joel, Jamie, Zuwami, Patrick Lodge. What is going on? My brother, Why Diggy. What's up, Why Diggy? He's in the building as well. The infamous Tim, what's up? Smitty753, Smitty, what's up, man? Sun Moon 80, my man Build His Life, Sporty or Sport 8, Joshua Shields, and we'll leave it right there for now. Father-in-law Leonard just left my home. We watched the game together. They wasn't showing it locally, but I got that IPTV cable. I'm able to watch it. So he came over to my house. I'm about to walk over to his house for a nice Sunday dinner. Let's get right to it, man. First of all, boy, oh boy, the season is going to be rough, guys. That's my knee-jerk reaction, but I'm going to get to it all. You guys know my routine. What I typically do is I talk about the first drive offensively, the first defensive series, then I talk about the key moments, and then I give you my takeaways from the game. Again, for you guys who are new to this particular show, welcome, first of all. But second of all, this is my knee-jerk reaction, right? It's without watching film. Tuesday is when I come in and I give a better assessment of how I feel about the game and or player and or units, as far as offense, defense, special teams. Because by that time, all 22, I usually get my hands on it on Tuesday, have a little bit of time to watch it, and then I can come on and give you a better assessment. All right, but right now, this is just knee-jerk reactions, the overreactions, if you will. All right, let's do it. Oh, something just fell on my desk. It's all good. All right, guys, first and foremost, let me pull up my notations here. Let's talk about the inactives. Mason Rudolph, Mark Robinson, Isaiah Loudermilk, Kendrick Green. I don't think anybody's upset about that. And Steven Sims. So those were your guys who did not suit up and play. Let's also talk about some of the penalties that happened in the game. And I might not have them all, but these are the ones that I remember capturing. Pass interference by Cam Sutton, which wiped out a pick six. That was in the first quarter. Y'all remember that one? Dan Moore was called for holding in the third quarter. Wiped out a third down pick by Mitch. Oh, third down pickup by Mitchell Trubisky. I think that was the one when he scrambled. Wiped that out. Alex Highsmith called for offsides in the fourth quarter. Gave up a free play to Boyd down the field. Jameer Jones called for holding on the punt in the fourth quarter. There was a holding by Cam Sutton late in the fourth quarter. Wipes out a TJ Watt and Cam Hayward sack. Watt was injured with 16 seconds left in that game. Right around 16 seconds left in regulation. I don't know why I have that here. Okay, I put it here twice. A personal foul by Minkah Fitzpatrick with about 9 seconds or so to go, or at least, that's where the clock stopped at the time. That was a bad call in my opinion. Listen, the NFL has to do something about these bang plays. I propose do what the college teams do. College, what they do now is they review those personal fouls to see if guys were targeting, etc. I think the NFL needs to adopt that because some of these are bang plays. And honestly, sometimes helmets are going to clash. I don't know if it did in that case. It didn't look like it. But sometimes helmets clash inadvertently. So the NFL needs to adopt being able to review personal fouls like that. Unnecessary roughness or targeting, whatever you want to call it. They need to be able to review those to see if it actually happened and diagnose the intent or not. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. Let's get into the what else we had here. Penalties again. Pass interference on Keller Weatherspoon, which was in overtime. So that's not good penalty-wise. Now let's get to the injuries, guys. And I think the worst may have happened for TJ Watt, man, but we'll get to it. Mason Cole goes down in the fourth quarter. He came back in the game, but he did go down, so we got to document that. Levi Wallace goes down with an ankle injury. I think it was around the third. Got to document that. Robert Spillane goes down in the fourth quarter. Seems to, just be like a contact, lens issue or something like that. It didn't seem like a serious thing, but who knows? We'll hear. Alex Highsmith goes down late in the fourth quarter as well. Najee Harris goes down in the fourth quarter. Leg got bent back, but I think they said something about his foot. We now know that he suffered somewhat of a Liz Frank injury earlier in training camp. So let's see if that's going to be an issue. You know what I mean? Maybe he aggravated it. I don't know. I don't even remember if it was the same foot. So I'm not 100% sure. We'll just keep our eyes on it. DeMarvin Leal goes down in overtime. Cam Hayward goes down in overtime. So some of these injuries didn't look significant. Some of it could have been exhaustion as well. But let's keep an eye on it. But what we're hearing already, guys, TJ Watt, torn pectoral. Wow. TJ has a torn pec. Man. That's tough. That's tough. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. That's yikes. Wow. That's huge. That's major. How long is that going to be? I don't know. Is it a partial tear? Is it a full tear? Is it a season ender? We'll have to see. I didn't feel good about it, though, because as you notice, TJ Watt immediately, right? Immediately, it's like he knew it was bad. Sometimes all you got to do is watch these guys, man, how they react. We're all human. We can read body language. And I just knew it wasn't great. Looking at where he was pointing to, his face was in disarray. It was almost like he was saying, like he knew. Like he knew. So, wow. Wow. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. That's all I can say. All right, man, let's get into the game, man. Okay. First defensive series. First offensive series. We got the ball first. Steelers get the ball first from the 25-yard line. There was no return. McPherson wasn't given Gunner any opportunity today to return the kick. I wish Boswell would kick the ball out the end zone more as well and stop allowing guys to return it. But anyway, first thing, shuffle pass to Fryermuth for 3 yards. That's it. Second down, we find Claypool on the second down for 5 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 2, and Deontay Johnson was stopped short of the line to gain. Brought up a 4th and 2. So essentially the Steelers go 3 and out. Mike Tomlin did challenge the spot. The call did stand. And I'm going to honestly say this really quick. I'm not upset at Mike Tomlin for that challenge. Y'all know my beefs with Tomlin. As much as I like him as a coach, as much as I like the person he is, time management and his challenges have just been the shaky areas in his career. With all that said, not mad at that one. Not mad at that one at all. It was close. And unfortunately, as we saw on the replays, there wasn't an angle that could conclusively show where the ball was. And that's the problem. And again, you got to understand that that's being buzzed down. You know, somebody is telling Tom, hey, challenge that. He probably saw some of it himself as well based off of the replays they showed in stadium. But at that point, at that moment, you know what I mean? At that moment of the game, you know, it's early, but you're on the road. You're facing a AFC North opponent, you know, a division foe, AFC champs. You got to try to get it when you can get it. And I'm not mad at Mike Tomlin for that particular challenge. Let's go, man. Let's get back into it. Somebody says no donations tonight. Yeah, you know, hey, I'm always happy and thankful for donations, but listen, I don't force it on anybody. So if you guys care to donate, please do. If you don't, hey, I still love you. Let's get into it. Let's see. What else do I have here? Yeah, so it was a 3 and out. The Steelers then would go on defense. And hold on, give me a second, guys. I'm just pulling up something here. All right, here we go. Steelers will go on defense. Bengals come out and empty to start the game. Now, y'all know, if you like me, if you've been paying very close attention to this Steelers defense and what has been one of their biggest weaknesses outside of the run game last year, for many years, the Steelers have had trouble defending empty. So immediately I'm like, oh boy, here we are. The Bengals are already going to challenge them in one of their weakest spots. But look at what happens. Bengals come out and empty. Cam Hayward gets the sack. And just like that, okay. So we showing the Bengals that there's going to be pressure today. And right after that, the very next play, Minkah Fitzpatrick, pick 6. And the Steelers are up 7-0. Just like that. Can't dream of a better situation. Your offense comes out first, they go 3 and out, which basically they do nothing with that possession. And your defense comes right down, right after that, and get a pick 6. Put points on the board. That is a win in my book. Couldn't ask for a better situation. Your defense comes out and gets you on the board, gives you the lead just like that. And I said this earlier. You guys probably see my pinned comment there. I will not tolerate, I will not stand for any negative comments about Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Many people would say, oh, he doesn't get interceptions. Oh, he didn't do nothing for us last year. Y'all know that crowd. Y'all know that crowd that did not understand the value that he brought to the team last season without picks, even though I think he did get 1 or 2. Y'all remember those folks. Some of y'all are in this chat. Some of y'all are in here. Y'all in here? Some of y'all are in here. Man, he ain't producing. You know why? Because you got spoiled. You got spoiled by the first season we traded for him, and he just so happens to be around the ball and get turnovers, and y'all got spoiled. But some of you guys don't really watch the game. Again, I'm not calling you out or nothing like that. Some people don't. Some people don't watch the game in and out like that. Some people are not nuts like some of us watching each aspect of the game. But some of you didn't understand how important Minkah Fitzpatrick was last season. The PBUs, the tackles, the touchdown tackles. endless plays by Minka last year that weren't interceptions. A lot of you guys didn't see his value. Some of y'all in this very chat said, I don't even know why they paid him. Yeah. Some of y'all said that. Can you believe it? Yeah. Do you believe that? Some of y'all in this very chat said, I don't even know why we give him a contract. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Minka, that dude, bro. Period. And he showed himself today. Many times. Being rangy. Even after the pick six. Just being rangy in certain situations out there. That dude is a monster. I don't want to hear it. No slander of Minka Fitzpatrick on my watch. I'm sorry. All right, let's get into the key moments, man. I already talked about Minka, so that was my first key moment. Minka Fitzpatrick gets a pick six on the Bengals' first offensive drive. Steelers are faced with a 3rd and 10, right? On the very next defensive possession. 3rd and 10, Alex Highsmith able to end the drive with a sack. He beats his man with a spin move, and McPherson was able to hit a 59-yard field goal, a long field goal. But at that point, it was 7-3. Alex Highsmith, again, this kid is coming on. He had an outstanding game today as well, and we're going to need him to be ginormous, huge, with the loss of T.J. Watt. Second offensive drive, Steelers go 3 and out. Wow, no surprise, right? Unable to connect with Boykin on the deep shot downfield. It was good to see Mitch Trubisky take a shot. Y'all know most of the time I'm a little upset with the shots. You know, I like us to just be more dink and dunk when it's 3rd and short. Don't always go for the shot because Ben used to do that. I wasn't mad with it there. Boykin had an opportunity there. You know, it was just out of reach. But it is good to see that we will push the ball downfield. However, we didn't see much of that later in the game. Boy, I'm going to get on that offense. Don't worry. Right after that, a little bit later, Cam Sutton was called for pass interference, which wiped out a pick six. It was a nice play by Alex Highsmith. He gets a sack fumble, and Cam Hayward able to get, I called it an interception, but they then ruled it as a fumble. Knocked the ball out of Barrow's hand, goes down as a sack fumble, and Cam Hayward catches it. And Bush was in on that play as well. They sent the house. And Bush, did you see Bush come flying? I was afraid that he was going to get called for like helmet-to-helmet contact or, you know, contact above the neck or whatever. Bush came in there like a wild dog. And we were just all over Joe Burrow at that point. But at the end of the day, we were able to get the fumble. Boom. Steelers are going to start with great field position, right? 3rd drive. Flea flicker. Hits Fryer move downfield and puts Steelers in a 1st and goal situation. Man, that was quite the flea flicker, right? It was a flip to you, flip back to Mitch. Okay, I see you, Matt Canada, trying to be cute. I'm cool with that. That was cool. However, the uncool part is when we were in the end goal to goal situation. Look what happened here. Steelers unable to convert for a touchdown. Had to settle for a field goal. And I wrote down specifically, I did not like the call on 2nd down. You guys remember, it was a running play with Najee Harris. We were in jumbo. I mean, we were just putting big boys against big boys. I'm cool with the mentality, but this is what I'm not cool with. Our offensive line as it stands today, they don't have that bully mentality. They don't push people around right now. They ain't the big men on campus right now. You can't line up mano-a-mano with this offensive line out of jumbo from like the 2 or 3 and think you're going to score. Just my opinion. Now, again, I don't coach these guys. I don't watch them on a day-to-day. Maybe they wanted to show confidence in them. But I was immediately screaming when I saw jumbo, and I'm like, nah, man, don't run it. Maybe do a play action. We run it, nothing happens, right? So right after that, we didn't do anything on 3rd down neither. I forgot what play happened there, but Steelers had to kick another field goal at that point. It is 10-7. A little bit later, TJ Watt has back-to-back plays. Man, this kid, man, we're gonna miss him. TJ Watt gets a tackle for loss. Oh man. Tackle for loss on first down. Very next play, he comes away with a pick. Listen, this guy, how are you an edge rusher? You blow up the run. I mean, TJ almost got there before the ball got handed off. So it looked like he would have been able to get Burrow or the ball carrier. He takes him down, loses 4 yards. Very next play, he plays the eyes. I mean, he plays the bat ball so well. I mean, him and Cam Hayward. And he actually gets an interception. I just, at that moment, almost lost it. The dude is phenomenal. Steelers get the ball back. 4th try. Very nice block by Jaylen Warren. I got to get him some credit. Jaylen Warren had a couple good blocks in this game because he did it later in the game. Huge block by Jaylen Warren to spring Claypool on a jet sweep. That was the one that went to the right side. Then we threw a very nice tight end screen, man. Good to see that to Zach Gentry. And it's beautiful that we threw it to Gentry because, again, Gentry is not the threat. You know, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're probably paying more attention to Freiermuth than you are Zach Gentry. So I thought it was a great call from Matt Canada. You had some moments today, but I still got questions. But Steelers get into a 3rd and goal situation. Canada calls a play action to Najee out the backfield. Beautiful play design because it was like a play action with a swing pass. Beautiful play design. And we score a touchdown. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? At that point, the Steelers, and I have the score wrong there. I don't know why I said 10-7 earlier. It wasn't 10-7, but anyway, y'all know what the score was. But we get the touchdown there, man, with a nice play to Najee Harris, and I'm like, all right, great. So now we're cooking a little bit. Next defensive possession, Cam Sutton picks off Joe Burrow. Man, guys, have I not been saying, where have I said Cam Sutton needs to stay? In the slot. I mean, Cam could not have played that better. Beautiful coverage. He was in the hip pocket of Tyler Boyd. Joe Burrow is probably thinking he's going to fit it in there. And Cam sneaks in and picks that thing off. And at this point, I'm like, yo, the defense is balling out of control right now. Losing their minds. I'm feeling good. Until the 5th offensive drive. Steelers go 3 and out again, unable to capitalize on the turnover. Steelers are back on defense. There was a 4th and 1. We got gashed up the middle. It looks like, and I got to see the film, but it wasn't Devin Bush because Devin Bush was chasing. It looks like Miles Jack got swallowed up a little bit on that 4th and 1 run by Mixon that sprung him down to allow the Bengals to get to an in-goal situation, and that was late in the 2nd quarter. Wallace able to play through the catch and forces the incompletion to on Chase to avoid that touchdown. You remember that one? It was nice defense by Levi Wallace. But then the Bengals, we held them in check, forced them to settle for a field goal, and at that point, the score was 17-6. So at this point, I'm like, dog, Steelers are doing all right, man. We doing all right. We get into the second half. Steelers force a 3 and out on the first drive to start the second half, and I'm like, dog, this defense is playing. They are balling. But here we go. 6th drive. Hubbard comes in unblocked and almost forces a safety on Mitch Trubisky. Smart play by Mitch to get the ball off. Converts a 3rd and 2, finding Chase Claypool on a short dump off. But then the Steelers are unable to convert later on in the drive. A 3rd and 14 they were faced with, and they're forced to punt. So again, you get a 3 and out coming out of halftime, and you do nothing with it. Tyler Boyd is able to beat Cam Sutton for a touchdown. Later in the game there, after that perfectly thrown ball by Joe Burrow, Steelers went with all-out blitz, and the Bengals are able to convert the 2-point conversion as well. At that time, it's 17-14. Like I said, I can't wait to see some of this stuff on film, but he just ran across the face of Cam Sutton, and Burrow put it in a perfect spot. Joe Burrow, man, I'm telling you, y'all know this, but when he's on, he's on. Beautiful pass, and yeah, NFL corners are going to get beat sometime. You know, it's funny because when you watch people, like I peek at Twitter, not so much, but I'll peek in after the game to kind of see what people are saying. So, some of y'all, man, y'all's expectations for how this team is supposed to play is crazy. We're not supposed to give up any points, any yards, any touchdowns. NFL caliber teams are not supposed to drive the ball on us. AFC champs of last year, we should be able to just blanket them. I mean, these are y'all expectations. You're going to give up something. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Like I said, they are not the Bungles. They are no longer the Bungles. You know, so I don't get it. You know, because again, and shout outs to father-in-law Leonard. It's funny when we watch the game together because Leonard is the typical, like, complains about every play. We give up a couple yards. Oh, man, run defense sucks. And we give up a pass. Oh, man, what is that? And I'm like, I feel you as from a fan in your heart, but you got to acknowledge sometimes the other team is good. It doesn't always mean that we missed the block or we couldn't do this, couldn't do that. It might just mean that the players on the other side beat our player in that situation. Like Jamar Chase. I saw people saying, man, you got to stop this guy. How many people have been able to stop him? It's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has become a premier receiver in the league. So why do you think our team is just going to blanket and, you know, just going to wipe him out? You're not going to do that. They're going to make some plays, but for our defense to play the way they did, I'll get to it. All right, 7th drive. Mitch picks up the 3rd down with his legs. Saw a lot of movement today. That was good to see. But of course, Dan Moore is called for holding. Puts the Steelers in a 3rd and 16 situation later in that drive. And guess what? Steelers are forced to punt. Big punt by Presley Harvin. Bengals had to start from their 9-yard line. Cam Hayward and Alex Highsmith were able to get a sack to force a 3rd and 14 back to the Bengals 4-yard line. Steelers able to get off the field after forcing a 3-and-out. And Gunnar O had a nice return to get the Steelers in Bengal territory. It was good to see that. 8th drive. Started at the Bengals 48-yard line. Good field position. Steelers are faced with a 3rd and 2. And then, what did I put here? Steelers convert a 3rd and 2 with a pass to Deontay Johnson. High snap on the following, you know, when we got into another 3rd down, there was a little bit of a high snap. Messed with the timing a little bit, and the Steelers were unable to convert. But that was when Mason Cole went down. JC coming in at center, you know, having a little bit of exchange issues. Not really exchange because it was, you know, from shotgun. But with the snap being a little bit high, Mitch didn't have time to settle in. But at the end of the day, Steelers unable to continue to drive and had to settle for a field goal. So at that point, we're sitting at 20-14. Bengals were then facing a 4th and 6 on their following drive, and Akello gets the interception for the 5th turnover of the day. Bengals not afraid of the Steelers' offense, right? I made this notation because talking with Leonard, he was like, I don't understand why they went for it. I said, well, I do. Steelers' offense ain't did nothing. They ain't afraid of us. Oh, we got a donation, man. I don't have the headphones on, so I can't hear it. Round of applause to Victory Asher. And let me make sure this round of applause is working. Looks like it is. Appreciate that. Round of applause, brother. He says, I posted this very same score on Chat Sports YouTube channel video 4 days ago. Wow. Nostradamus. Vicstradamus. Or Astradamus. How about that? That's dope. That's dope. And it is crazy, man. If you guys have been following my series on YouTube, man, you saw that we were able to beat the Bengals as well with a close margin in the Week 1 game. Hopefully you guys check out the Week 2 game that it's already posted. Shameless plug. But against the Patriots. So that's a pretty good game as well. And I'm about to play the Week 3 game. I haven't had a chance to do it this weekend, but I'm about to play it. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, you know, we're going to be playing. Well, actually, hold on. Did I already play that game? Yeah, I played the Week 3. but I didn't record it. I'm not going to tell you guys what the results were. I'll let you know with the next video. I'm about to play week 4. That game will be posted. So you'll see the Jets, and we'll see who's at quarterback. All right, let's get back to the action, man. Where was I? Where's my notes? Here we go. Where was I? I said the Steelers offense didn't scare anybody, and that's probably why they went for it. And guess what happened in the 9th drive? After that turnover, Steelers go 3 and out following the turnover. No surprise, huh? Based on how we saw the game going. The next defensive possession, holding by Cam Sutton late in the 4th quarter, wipes out a TJ and Cam Hayward sack. Steelers get Bengals in a 4th and goal situation, and the Steelers are able to stop the Bengals. Cam Sutton gets his hand on the ball. Jamar Chase gets personal foul after that play and gives the Steelers a free 15 yards. And at this point, based on how much time was on the clock, that was critical. And I'm begging the offense, just get a first down. Just get a first down, please. As you know, it's getting close to the end of this game here. If we can sustain a drive, we can end this thing. 10th drive, guess what happens? Steelers go 3 and out. I gotta take a sip of water, man. I'm still heated about this. Steelers go 3 and out. And they throw the ball on 2nd down. Let me tell you something. I'm going to wait because I have an office visit, but I'm going to wait because I'm going to do it later. I did not like that call either. I don't know who was fully responsible for it. I don't know if it was Canada alone because he's the play caller. I don't know if it was an overruling by Mike Tomlin, so I'm going to say everybody involved. I'm going to say mostly Canada because he's the offensive coordinator. Why throw the ball in that situation? If I throw him a little bit of bail, let me throw him some bail. And I'll say why you might run the ball there. You might run the ball because you couldn't run the ball all day, right? Wait, I said that backwards. You might not run the ball because you could not run the ball all day. I get that theory. You want to catch him off guard, or you want to do what's been working, the quick pass, get a quick high percentage pass to Deontay Johnson. However, at that moment, that ain't the time. Make them burn their timeouts because your defense has been playing great as well. Make them burn the timeouts. I would not have thrown the ball at that point on 2nd down. That's just me. I would not have done that. I get it. Like I said, maybe they just wanted to catch him off guard, but I would not have thrown the ball in that situation. I did not like that. But at the end of the day, again, they went 3 and out. They allowed the Bengals to keep a timeout. Guess what happens? Joe Burrow finds Jamar Chase. And at this point, this is what I literally wrote. And this is why you shouldn't speak things, right? Because sometimes you speak things into existence. I literally wrote right there, Burrow finds Jamar Chase to win the game, beats Ahkello Witherspoon. I thought the game was over at that point. I'm sure all of y'all did too. We'll get there. And let me just say this. That was a tough defense right there for Ahkello Witherspoon. You see how fast Burrow threw the ball. I mean, Burrow had the ball thrown before Chase is even out of his cut. It's a tough cover. That's a tough situation. I know father-in-law Leonard was saying, oh, man, you got to double team him. I get it in principle, but I also was explaining to him where they were in the position that they were, from the 3-4 yard line. It's hard to get a double team out there without clearly showing that you're double teaming. You understand what I'm saying? There's no room for the double team to rotate over. So you would literally have to line up with 2 guys there, one here, one there. And if you do that, you're leaving somebody else by themselves. Because who you're going to use to double team? You're going to leave somebody open. Most people would say, oh, well, you could use a safety. Well, if you take Minka out the middle, now, Burrow could go to somebody else. And maybe you play that hand. But I clearly understand why there wasn't a double team there. However, you guys have heard me say this over the years. That's why I would like to see us press. And I know that's tricky too, because if he beats the press and it's a quick fade, I know, but I just feel like we play it a little tighter. Because it was almost like Akello was bailing. Again, the end zone is right there. There's really nowhere to bail to. Like, he literally, I just felt like it wasn't aggressive enough. You got 5 yards. So anytime that somebody's on the 5-yard line, dog, you can play. Make it a little harder for him to get that throw off. But he threw the ball, it seemed like 1.5 seconds. And again, I'm not going to blame Akello for that. That was tough. That was a tough one. But, yeah, man, that was a tough situation there. But I just wish we could be a little more aggressive there with our corner play. Guys like Akello is a bigger, more long corner. But, it is what it is. There's no need to cry over spilled milk, right? So at that point, I thought the game was over. But guess what? That guy that I will not tolerate any slander, Minkah Fitzpatrick, blocks the extra point. How crazy is that? Remember Minkah blocked the kick last year and they called it offsides? They said him and Joe Hayden was offsides. Y'all remember that? So Minkah has a knack for that. Minkah Fitzpatrick single-handedly was 75% of the reason why the Steelers won today. Not discrediting the rest of the defense. I'm just saying, because you can't take away the other turnovers. But Minkah gets a pick 6, puts 6 on the board. And then he blocks the extra point. So Minkah was accounted for technically 7 points in this contest. What a game, man. What a game by Minkah Fitzpatrick. So we go to overtime, and guess what happens? Steelers draw the kick. When I say draw the kick, they basically won the toss. And guess what they did? Can anybody guess it? I'm not even going to say it. This is where I'm going to have some fun with the chat. Can anybody guess what the Steelers did on the first possession of overtime? I'm going to drink a couple sips of water while I wait to see. I want to see what y'all going to say. I'm waiting for the first couple answers. Can anyone guess what the Steelers did on their 11th drive to start overtime? Who's going to give the answer? Jake Taylor, the first one to say it. Yes, indeed. They went 3 and out. Wow. Should we have been surprised? They go 3 and out. How many chances does the defense have to give you? But then, the Bengals are able to drive down the field. Surely Evan McPherson is going to make this kick, right? And for whatever reason, Evan McPherson turned into Ray Finkel. He turned into Ray Finkel. Some of y'all will know who that is. Y'all know I love my movies. He turned into Ray Finkel. And incidentally, what Ray Finkel claimed in the movie actually happened here. The laces were in. The laces were in. They had a bad transaction from snap to holder. The laces was facing McPherson, and he turns into Ray Finkel. Kicks the ball clearly to the left. Listen, I couldn't write this. I could not have written this script. Bad snap, laces are facing the kicker, and Ray Finkel shows up. Holy moly. At this point, I'm looking, and I don't know if football gods are in heaven or what, but at this point, I'm looking up, and I'm like, I see what y'all doing, football gods. Y'all are trying to give the Steelers as many opportunities as possible. So, 12th drive, second drive of overtime. Big acrobatic catch by Deontay Johnson. Woo-wee! He out there looking like Jamar Chase in terms of the type of crazy catches. Oh, man, speaking of that catch Jamar Chase made in the end zone, and he was just out. The one-hander, dog. Listen, when I tell y'all that you got to understand why some of the corners are going to get beat from time to time by Jamar Chase, yeah, that guy is nasty. But man, let's give it up to our own man, Deontay Johnson. My goodness, what a catch. Brings the Steelers downfield. Gets them to the 45-yard line. Can't really do much offensively. Jalen Warren on the reverse, another huge block to spring again. Once again, Chase Claypool on the reverse. But Boswell misses the 55-yard kick. And me and father-in-law Leonard had a discussion about it. He was upset. He was comparing Boswell to Justin Tucker and McPherson. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Justin Tucker is Justin Tucker. He's a one of one. But you know who's 2 of 2? Who has been? Chris Boswell. He's been money. He hit a 57-yarder in Hines. But what I was explaining to father-in-law Leonard, 55 yards, that ain't no easy kick. Everybody ain't just rolling out the bed and doing that. So while you can be upset about him missing it and comparing him to 2 other kickers, one I might mention was Ray Finkel on the previous drive. I won't always his fault, but I'm just saying. Can't really compare the guy when this guy just missed a 30-yard or whatever it was. It was a short kick. But come on, man. Again, what I say about us fans, we want everything to work. It just doesn't always work. A 55-yard kick is not money. You lucky if you have a kicker that can do that consistently. Boswell has been to 50, has kicked, 50 plus yards, but it's a tough kick. And it looked like the wind carried it a little bit. If you notice, again, I watch everything. If you notice the goalpost, the flag was blowing to the left, and then when they showed the replay, you could tell that it was wobbling. Wind kind of got it, and again, it's a long kick, man. It's a long kick. Super long kick. But at that point, I'm looking at the football gods, and I'm like, all right, I don't know, maybe y'all just playing with my emotions. But hey, the Steelers are somehow able to get the ball back again. And 13th drive, Hubbard has an offsides, gives us a free play. Mitch Trubisky uses his legs, finds Freiermuth, gets him downfield. And we do just enough to get Boswell in position for a 53-yarder. And I wrote here in caps, he hits. Steelers win 23-20. How in the world did we do it? Defense, 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 defense. What a game. Kind of reminds me of what we did last year, right? Went to Buffalo, and, you're expecting to lose, excuse me, and they found a way to win. I thought the only way they could win today was having a Buffalo-like game. Having a special teams maybe touchdown or a defensive touchdown, we got that. But who knew it was going to be that many turnovers? But let's get to the real nitty-gritty here, and then I'll come over to the chat. Jay Glazer reports something that I'm going to talk about here at the end of the show. Couple things I noticed. Akello Witherspoon has improved his tackling. I saw quite a few times today, man. He made some nice tackles, and that had been an issue, an area of concern. It looks like he improved his tackle quite a bit. Steelers defense had 2 turnovers in the first quarter. The Steelers defense, I wrote here, they're dominating so far. But let's just go over and say that they dominated for the majority of the game. Guys, that was the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are high-powered. Higgins didn't kill us and, got him out the game at some point. But Jamar Chase got his numbers. But Joe Mixon had a decent game, but nobody killed us. We kept them in check. We produced a lot of pressure. We produced a lot of turnovers. Bengals were -5 in the turnover differential. I have nothing bad to say about the defense. People might want to nitpick things here and there. I'm not saying anything. They were playing a high-powered offense, the AFC champions, and that defense hung in there and literally won the game. What a game by that defense, man. And let me tell you this. Run defense looked a lot better today, huh? Yeah, Joe Mixon got that little one off of 4th and 1. It's going to happen from time to time. But run defense looked good today. I don't think we gave up 100 yards. I don't think we did. Run defense so far, looks much improved. And the two guys that I talked about in preseason were showing up. Ogunjobi and Miles Jack both made plays today. But I told you, Ogunjobi and Miles Jack is definitely going to help in that run defense. They put up a great effort today, for the most part. Now let's get to Matt Canada. First office visit of the year. Mr. Canada, please bring yourself into this office. I have questions for you. Matt Canada, this is a warning shot. It's week 1, and I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say, listen, I'm not overreacting in week 1. I have to see how this game, this team is going to play and how your play calling is going to work and all of that stuff. I cannot make that assessment in week 1, even though a lot of Steeler Nation has. Father-in-law Leonard has. Other people I see already tweeting and stuff. I just don't. Now, maybe you guys are right, but I give people the chance to prove it. Because I did see some wrinkles today, Mr. Canada. I did. I saw a couple plays that, that is the Matt Canada that we've been waiting for. A lot of motion. Looked like your Maryland offense a little bit. A lot of motion and shifting and things like that. However, sometimes you fell back into the same, getting a little too comfortable. The shuffle pass, 3 times in one game, Matt Canada? No, that ain't it, bruh. No. You don't do that 3 times, Junior. You don't do it 3 times in the same game. Come on, bruh. You're a little happy with the jet sweeps too. However, when you switched it up a little bit, when you did more of the reverse action versus jet sweep, it was successful. So I'm not upset about that because I think Chase Claypool is going to be big in that area. I think even Gunnar O is going to be big in that area. Hey, I think Calvin Austin, when he gets to play, is going to be big in that area. I'm cool with the reverse and the double reverse and stuff like that because that was cute. The one that you did late, in the overtime there, that was nice. And Jalen Warren, woo! Salute to Jalen Warren. I'm glad y'all kept him. What a block. 2 great blocks. He's a dog. But sir, please get a little more creative in the goal-to-go situations. What are you doing? The play action to Najee, money. But that prior one and some of the other calls, what are you doing? This offensive line ain't the dogs yet. Come on, man. You had some great moments. You had some head-scratcher moments. But again, I'm not going to overreact because I am seeing your influence without Ben Roethlisberger. That's no shot to my Hall of Fame quarterback. It's just the truth. The things that I was saying last year that we could not do with Ben, you're seeing it now, folks. All right, Miss Canada, I'm going to let you go. I don't want to see you back in this office, okay? Carry on. What else we got? Wrote some more things here about Canada. I did say his offense is on display. Goal-to-go situations are questionable. Talked about the shuffle pass. I already just talked to him about that. And we didn't take a lot of shots downfield, man. Mitch took one early in the game to Boykin, but we started to get a little conservative. And offense was terrible on 3rd down. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. The run game. Let me say something that's evident and might be a little sad to admit. This offense ain't going to go without the run game, bro. Plain and simple. It is not going to go without a run game. And the run game was garbage today. This is why I can't wait until I see the film. Because let me say something about the offensive line. Offensive line weren't that bad today, folks. Do y'all agree or disagree? They weren't that bad in pass protection. Offensive line didn't have a horrible game. If you really pay attention, Dan Moore had his penalty. But the O-line didn't have a horrible outing. Now, run blocking is different, but I can't make that determine. I need to see the all 22 so I can see what really went on. But again, like I said, you got to give some credit to the defense. They got dogs over there, but they didn't play that bad. But it's the run game. It's the run game that I need to see what's going on with them with the run game. Because I want to know, is it the O-line missing blocks or not executing or they getting pushed back before I can say that they played great. But what I'm saying is, what we saw in preseason, we didn't see today in past situations. We didn't see Mr. Trubisky getting touched really. We saw him have time. Now, some situations he was mobile, able to get out the pocket. Some of the play calls moved the pocket. But y'all understand what I'm saying, right? There wasn't any, from what I'm remembering, there wasn't any real bad moments. The run game, though. So maybe when I come back on Tuesday, I might be able to say, guys, this offensive line running the ball. I don't know yet. But I'm just saying it was obvious to me that the offensive line didn't play as bad as we all thought they were going into this game. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah, man, listen, overall, the other thing I want to say here is Steelers receivers didn't seem to do much in the scramble drill. That's something else I'm going to look for, man, when I watch the tape. I don't know. It seemed like they weren't working themselves to get open. And, I noticed Charles Davis said that a few times, too, so I want to see that for myself. And here's the last thing I got, man. Robert Spillane was playing dime and not Bush or Jack. Now, again, no disrespect to Robert Spillane. I don't think there were any glaring moments in his play or anything. Honestly, I don't think there were any glaring moments from anybody, Bush included. But I'm curious to know why he's the first man up in dime and not Miles Jack. That's interesting. So I'll be very curious to know those changes of, those circumstances there to why Spillane is running dime. That's a little interesting. But other than that, man, listen, what a great win for the organization, man. At one point, I thought maybe we're going to tie. That would have been a win for us, too. And yeah, defense played their butts off. And again, let me say this. Let me go ahead and say this because I already know people are saying it. What? NFL is rigged. Oh, here you go. I know. I remember you from a while back. You always got something crazy to say. But you said terrible game, both sides. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, it definitely wasn't a terrible game defensively. And if I'm catching the tail end of your comment, my apologies. But when you say both sides, that you're really confusing me there, sir. But let me just say this, guys, before y'all go down this path. No, we do not need to put Kenny Pickett in just yet. Shout outs to my cousin and big cousin brother Floyd. Oops, my bad, guy. But he was saying, hey, man, at this point, I'll put Pickett in. No, not yet. Not yet. Because, again, I want to see the film to see if Trubisky had other options. Floyd was pointing out to me, like, hey, man, so other people were open. And he did say this, and I actually mentioned this to Leonard as well. We're both thinking the same thing. Is Trubisky forcing the ball to Deontay Johnson? We need to keep our eyes on that. Because Floyd definitely mentioned, too, that there was times where other guys were open. So I hope he doesn't fall in love with that. And, maybe Kenny Pickett won't have that same allegiance with one guy and spread the ball around the field. I don't know. But I still would say not to put him in just yet. Not yet. And Mitch didn't play a horrible game. So let's dissect, guys. Let's see what this team is first before we already Kenny. No, let's not do that yet. It's week 1. They had a ugly offensive game and somehow they won. So at least they can go into this with the victory, and hopefully corrections will be made. But we'll see. But all right, guys, let's spend a little bit of time in the chat and see what you guys have to say. Lagoon Tours Bahamas says, yes, think so too, Sam. They'll put him in the wrong time in the stadium, and refs calling a bunch of crap with 13 seconds left in the game. They were doing everything for us to lose. Sorry, I'm convinced. Yeah, it was kind of weird, man, with some of the stuff happening today. Marlon says, in 2022 NFL, he said, what is the point of letting Pickett sit on the bench and learn? You probably could learn a lot more in the game. It's a new league, man, and now is the time, not November. Listen, man, that's just your opinion. We all have them. Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong, and actually, this is what I was going to read earlier. Jay Glazer said before the game, he knows people inside the building and Tomlin. He believes, quote unquote, that the Steelers plan to let Mitch play the entire season and allow Kenny to learn. I think that probably is the goal. Do you guys understand what bridge quarterback means? I think that's the goal. I think they're going to play Kenny if they have to play him. So don't get that twisted. If Trubisky's stinking it up, Kenny Pickett is the number 2 for a reason. They're not going to let Trubisky go down with the ship, like drive them into, you know what I mean, into just being the worst team ever. They're not going to do that. But I do believe that the plan is, if we're winning games and Trubisky plays well, you allow Kenny Pickett to sit and learn. I get what some of you guys are saying. Oh, what's the point of doing that? Well, the point is, that's why they went and got a veteran. Think about it. Most rookie quarterbacks play right away because the team don't have anybody else. The Steelers ironically put themselves in a situation where they don't have to do that. So I'm not saying I agree with the organ. I'm just saying that's what it is. I don't think I could be mad at that. And if they play him, great. I'm not going to be mad if they play him either. But we gotta get out of our feelings a little bit and think about the organization. They're not playing Kenny Pickett until Trubisky gives them a reason to play him. So go ahead and put that in your mind. You're not going to see Kenny until Trubisky gives the Steelers a reason to play Kenny. Round of applause. Man, it's CT Pittman. There's a donation. Another one. I got 2 of them. He says, Mitch has tunnel vision with Deontay. Didn't look the safety off once during the game. And again, that could be true. And that might be a reason why he gets put down. See what I'm saying? So he's going to have to continue to force Kenny on the field, if that makes sense. But it's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening tomorrow. Bengals for life. I'm confused why you're even here, but welcome. I mean, it's weird when a team, like a fan, like why talk trash today? I mean, but whatever. Shout outs to you. Let's see what else y'all got. Keith Van Nelson says, facts. Laugh out loud. Karma hit them hard as AF. And now y'all picking with them. All right, give me something else, guys. Give me a couple things, and then I'm gonna run. Afro Thunder says that was the plan in 2003 when Ben was drafted. The only reason why Ben played was because of the injury to Maddox. Yes. These things are common. These things are common. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to figure that out. And again, I don't want to come across like I'm poo-pooing on anybody's idea. I'm just saying what's realistically happening. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying there, Marlon. He says, I just feel like some guys bring a different energy. Why do they keep forgetting Mitch was a backup last year and Matt Nagy took the blame for his bad play, basically, even though he didn't have a turnover? Mitch Trubisky was a backup to Josh Allen, though. So I don't know if I can agree with you there as far as using that as a reference. He won't go supplant Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Somebody says discuss the injuries. They were a few. Yeah, I did already, Terry. And unfortunately, you know, the big one is TJ. And Najee. We got to look and see. Oh, wait. Somebody said Haywood is out too? Is Haywood out? Is not. All right, has this stuff been confirmed? I mean, the Bengals guy is saying this, but I don't know if any of this has been confirmed. Shout outs to my man Mariano Pampa. He says, you missed a few super chats, Sim. Thank you for the content, brother. It's going to be an interesting season. Any update on Najee? Yeah, I don't know about Najee yet. And I probably did, man, because I don't have my headphones hooked up. So my apologies, guys. Thank you to everyone who has donated. If you did donate, man, and I didn't shout you out, I really appreciate that. Actually, let me see if I can scroll back up and catch a few. There's CT Pittman. Kev, so fun. Okay, there we go. Round of applause to Kev. He says, now that water's out, Sim, what would you do? Pray. I would just pray. That's all I would do. But nah, I mean, you got to go with what you got. We're going to need guys like Reed to step up. You know, this is an opportunity for Malik Reed to do something. And all of the other guys that we got behind TJ. And, you know, and I don't know if anybody's on the street, you know, so that's really what you do is you assess what you have. And that's it. That's really all you can do, man. Gavin Carr is engaging in. Y'all can engage in bingo, man. I'm not. Just don't pay no attention to it. Real G Lee says, Sim, do you think this Mitch is what he was in Chicago? And if so, do you think it's enough? Well, it depends. Which Chicago? You know, because, again, a lot of people have different opinions. I know some Bears fans that say, oh, he is what he is. I know other Bears fans that's like, nah, the dude, you know, was good until Nagy messed him up. Let's not forget, guys, Mitch Trubisky had 2 good seasons in Chicago, went to the playoffs. You know, and again, I'm not saying this dude is all world. Nobody has ever said that. But I think Mitch Trubisky does have skill. I think if this offensive line, if we can run the football, let me say that. If we're able to get a decent, respectable run game going in this season, Mitch Trubisky will be fine. Is he going to be the best quarterback in the world? Probably not. But he's going to make some plays. He's going to make some plays with his legs. He's going to push the ball downfield. What he can't do, I hope he doesn't have tunnel vision. So that's the one caveat. But I think Mitch Trubisky can play enough to manage this team. And if our defense can continue to play, I know, no TJ, I get it. I'm just saying, if our defense can keep us in games, I think he can do enough to win. But I think he's going to do what the Steelers have asked him to do. I think that's literally what's going to happen. So no word on Najee, right? Exactly, Afro Thunder. It's hard to read into Mitch right now. As the season continues, we will all see. And that's what I'm saying. Some of y'all might be spot on. I don't know. I'm always speaking from my point of view and my eyes. I don't know yet. Ask me the same question again in 5 games. Real Fact says, Ben's mental in the past game was unappreciated. What he didn't have in the physical last year, he made up for his mind. Pickett, Mitch are more mobile, but Ben is hard to replace. Absolutely. That too. You know, you might not have a lot of the change in the play or the way Ben ran the 2-minute offense. I mean, come on, man. That's irreplaceable. So it's a lot of factors going here. I got to read this one, man. Shout outs to Carlos Burgos. Big fan of the channel all the way in Puerto Rico. Ho! He says, I don't know how many more games like this my heart can take. TJ is going to be a tough loss. They're going to have to set up a good rotation for outside linebacker. Shout outs to Puerto Rico. Appreciate that, man. And you are absolutely correct. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough without TJ. And there's no way around that. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It's going to be super duper tough. All right, last one. from Will. He says, does anyone really know what kind of O-line the Steelers has? I think that's what he's saying. As far as for back as I can remember, we have always some kind of grinder type O-line. It looks like we only looking for finesse. That's a good question, man. That is a good question because I'm going to be honest, I have not delved so far into the Pat Myers system. I would recommend go watch Alex Kazor's breakdown of James Daniels. He kind of, if you listen to their podcast, the Steelers Depot crew, they kind of break down what Pat Meyer does. I have not, I'm always honest in my assessments. I have not to know, but apparently he has a certain style and he's trying to make certain players fit his style. So that could be a valid question. Maybe we don't have the big giant grinder type dudes like before, like your Ramon Foster types, Max Stark types, these Willie Cologne, maybe we don't have these type of dudes no more. So that's a very good point. Very good question. Actually, I will end with one more. Rajan39, what's up, Rajan? He says, we should be used to these heartbreaker games. We've been playing them for a long time. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But like I said, man, listen, this was a tough game to watch offensively. The reality is we all got to wait and see what's going to become of this offense. Whether Mitch Trubisky plays himself out of the starting position remains to be seen. Whether the offensive line will improve remains to be seen. And like I said, again, I don't think the offensive line played bad as a whole. I was expecting us to give up mad sacks. They didn't. They actually gave Trubisky some time to throw the ball. And there were times when he was on the run. Again, we all know this ain't a great line. This is what I'm saying. Some of you guys try to make the team in a vacuum. Y'all trying to make them what you want them to be in week one. You cannot assess this team today. You can't. Even with the defensive play. We can all say, man, it looked like this D gonna be great. Well, you don't know if they're gonna be that way every week. Not yet. Let's let 6 or 7 games happen, then we can assess it. Losing TJ, significant. Right? So just don't read too much into anything in week one. I would recommend that. If y'all want to do that, fine. Some of y'all might luck up and be right. Because honestly, none of us know in week one. None of us really know. Let's just be honest with ourselves. We can have these speculations and these guesses, but come on, man. Come on. The story will be told. Maybe Kenny Pickett gets to play. We shall see. But early assessment from what we saw today, offensive line and the run game didn't look good. Let's just say that. The running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers did not look great, which is part offensive line. So when I watch the film when it comes out, probably going to rewatch this game too. The condensed film of the actual game will happen. Probably out now. So I'll rewatch that before I watch the All-22, which I won't have till Tuesday. And then I may have a better assessment for you. And for you guys who are not subscribed, but who are joined the channel, but you guys who are members of the channel, y'all know we're going to do the All-22. Well, I show it to you guys. The private content for you guys who have joined the channel. All right, but outside of that, let's enjoy week one's win. Let's give our prayers and thoughts to TJ Watt and anyone else who's dealing with injury. And just hope this team, man, can find a way. This isn't the first time we've lost a significant guy. We can't do the woe is me. We can feel bad for them, but other teams have gone through it. Think about another division foe. Look what the Ravens went through last year, and they found a way. So it is what it is. But with that said, man, if you guys haven't already, I am going to remind you, boom, hit the like button if you like what you saw today. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And turn on your notification once you are subscribed so you will be able to know when videos are available. Outside of that, enjoyed the win. Can't wait until the upcoming week. Can't wait until Tuesday. And enjoy some football tonight, man. I think it's going to be a good one tonight. I think the Chiefs are playing right now. So enjoy the win. Enjoy football tonight and tomorrow. And you guys will hear from me on Tuesday. But like always, stay safe. God bless. Good night. And thank you for tuning in to the post-game show presented by The Still Basement. Peace.